All right, so as I was saying before my other live got rudely interrupted, I am getting ready to have a photographer come by my uncle and aunt slash client's house to take some photos so that I can list it, meaning put it up to sale. And so I'm just gonna let you guys take this walkthrough with me. All right, so this house was built in 1990, and they haven't done any modernizations since then. They're in their 70s now. They've raised kids and grandkids, nieces and nephews in this house. Me being one of them, I wasn't raised here, but I was here enough. So don't shade the old-fashioned look of it. This property is on 2.97 acres. It's a brick two-story home, and it will be sold for 700,000. So I'm just walking through to turn on lights and kind of get it prepared for its photo shoot. Doing a final walkthrough. If I get here, they're just going to start taking photos, and I have to make sure that it's ready. Okay. Is there another light in here? Okay, yeah, no. Before I go upstairs, I'll let you guys see the house from outside. Look at that. Now, again, this is on 1.97 acres. One of it is cleared. The other 1.97 is uncleared. But that's what you see when you open the door. I actually live right down a couple streets down. I can walk from here to my house. My uncle was definitely influenced by the Cosbys and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because let me show you what this looks like from the front, and tell me you don't see Will Smith being thrown out of the door. Don't that look like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air house? And he definitely used to watch the Cosbys and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because he was a bourgeoisie black. We used to rake up leaves and jump in them from this big old pretty oak tree. I'm backing up so I could try to let you see how big it is, but I'll be in the bushes or in some ants. Look at that. You got cows and stuff back there. This is called, the town I live in is called the horse capital of the United States, because everybody who owns horses lives here and trains their horses here. It's actually not Texas, but it's Ocala. And where this house is the now most desirable zip code in my town. So that is why this house is on the market for so much. For one, it's brick. It is just under 4,000 square feet, 2-car garage. The property over there used to be a horse farm. They used to let us ride their horses. This house isn't haunted. My family lives here. They live here. It still be great. Shabu. Just because the house is big doesn't mean it's haunted, honey. So this is the uncleared portion of the property, and it goes back. This is the remaining 1.97 acres, and it goes all the way back. Now there's a subdivision back there, a gated golf community. They've been eyeballing this property for years. So they're probably going to put the first bid on it because they own all the surrounding properties except for this, their next door neighbor, and their property through the bush. I don't know if you can see, but there's some houses back there that belongs to the, see that roof? That belongs to the gated community. And so does all of the surrounding property. So besides my aunt and uncle and these people, they own the pretty much this whole block from right over there to the end of the highway, about a mile, half a mile down. So they'll probably put the first bid on it, but we'll see. They can afford $700K, and that's my price. And it's non-negotiable because of the value of this land, this area code, the zip code, and the house itself. The house itself would be worth, without the land, 354, not 350, 450, 500K. Now you add on the land, 2.97 acres, that you can get that on the market here for about 250, 300K. So that's where I get seven. You know what? I doubt a family would move into this house, and if they did, first of all, due to this house alone, it's a niche market. Only developers, well, I'll say developers will be looking for this house, and wealthy family owners. If someone gets this house, that means that they're prepared to put another 500K into upgrades, because this house has no modern upgrades except for the roof and the HVAC. It's still very much outdated. Look. So yes, a family could get this property, but they'll come out of the pocket after they purchase it and bring it up to 2025 out of the 90s. They'll be out of pocket about $1 million plus, just over $1 million. But in this town, that's easy. I don't mind who gets it personally, and I would love a bidding war for it, but we'll see what happens. This is upstairs. Oh yeah, well they did this. This is upgraded because this definitely isn't the original, not the one I grew up in. So they did this. Hi. What? This is the master. That's my aunt and uncle on a pillow. Pastor James and Kim Young. Hallelujah. This is my uncle pastor, the one I told y'all he stands with Israel. Look. It's a sign in the yard that says, I stand with Israel. He was a pastor, a partner pastor with a white man and a Jewish man for all of his career, all of his 30-year pastor career. Very much whitewashed, but hey, this is their closet. Nice size walk-in closet, but as you can see, the house is majorly outdated. Oh, y'all trying to kill me. Majorly outdated. So, but it's a very valuable piece of property. Oh, the view from this room is probably the best, in my opinion, because you just sit on your bed like this and you can, be nosy. Who is that riding down the street? Look at that car. Look at that leaf. So anyways, this used to be one of the boys' rooms. This was one of my boy cousins' rooms. This was one of my boy cousins' rooms. This was one of my boy cousin's rooms growing up, and this was my cousin Janelle's room where I spent my time when I stayed here. Okay, so I got 15 minutes before the photographer gets here and the house is ready. I had to walk through, make sure all the lights were turned on, make sure all the blinds were pulled up because they're raggedy. And if they're raggedy, you don't leave them raggedy for the photos. You pull them up. It's better to just see window and view if you have one than to see raggedy ass blinds. So, not reading today. I'm letting you guys see my other side of life. What is this cup of milk doing on the windowsill? Y'all trying to, what else? Oh, his hat. Okay. This is why I come 45 minutes. Actually, I came an hour earlier so I can eat my breakfast down here and so I could do this walkthrough because it's a big ass house and I'm a perfectionist because these photos are what we're going to advertise this house with. So I've helped them stage it to the best of my abilities for the past 2 days. I came down here right after I left the gym and helped them kind of clean it up, move boxes and stuff. Because I don't know what their kids doing, but okay. Why would he leave all of this shit on the table? I ain't supposed to be cussing in the pastor's house, but god damn it. I said nothing on the tables, nothing on the floors. And look, because he want them to see the word and that he study the word, okay? He don't just read the word, he studies the word. Why is this on the table? Put it under there. But no, he wants the good people that's buying the house to know that I don't just read the word. Come on, people. He studies the word. Okay. Okay, Pastor James Young. And that's all fine and dandy, but I need it off. I need it off. So, oh, goodness. Where am I even going to put it? To get it out of the way. You know what? It's just going to be the centerpiece because I don't have time to try to find somewhere to hide it. So reading the word and studying the word is going to be the centerpiece of the table now. Hallelujah. Boom. A centerpiece. Because you know what? Staging actually isn't in my job description as a real estate agent. But as their niece, and somebody that is expecting a 5-figure what commission off of this, then you go above and beyond. My other realtors out there, you understand that when it's a higher ticket property, you go above and beyond. Actually, you do that for everybody. My slogan used to be luxury service at every price point. Now, I wouldn't do this for anybody. I wouldn't stage anybody's house for free. I would, though, add that into my professional services. All right. All right, I'm done. I'm done running through the house like a chicken with her head cut off, and I still got about 15 minutes, so I wanted to just spin it with you guys for a second before the photographer gets here. What y'all doing? It's 10:50, so y'all should be at work like I am, but this is what I do when I'm not beyond the veil Adina. I am wealth with Adina. A little pantsuit for the win, a little gold bag. I'm gonna leave here and catch up with my cousin, and we'll have a lunch date on this Good Friday. Jasmine, you in the bed? Child. This is actually all the outside of the housework that I have to do today. After I leave lunch, I am going to go home and then do some documentation because we're going to put this house on the market as soon as I get these photos back from the photographer, and that usually takes 24 to 48 hours. You need some caffeine? I had Dunkin' Donuts. I like to get the same thing at Dunkin' Donuts, and that is a medium hazelnut brown sugar iced latte with oat milk and whipped cream. And I stopped by Hardee's and got me an loaded omelet sausage biscuit meal. So I don't know about you, Tiara, but may coffee and caffeine be upon you. This is going to be a great sale. I actually am more honored to do this than it is just for the sale because it's my uncle and aunt's house. And they built this from the ground up. They didn't purchase it from anybody else, so they're the original owners. As a little girl, some days, because they used to babysit me before I started school, and they were building this house at the time. I was in daycare and stuff like that. So I would watch outside and watch this house being built sometimes. It's a lot of memories in here, good and bad, not gonna lie. Some of the things that I talked about as far as my childhood trauma, like molestation and stuff like that, some of that happened in this house. But I am honored to be able to sell this for my family and help them make this transition. My aunt and uncle just left to a doctor's appointment. He's in his later 70s and my aunt is in her early 70s, but this is the first time that they've moved in 30 years. This house was built in 1990s, 35 years. And they're downsizing now that all the raising of the children and grandchildren and all that other stuff is done. My uncle's having health issues. And so I am honored. I'm honored to be the one that my family calls on. I'm probably going to end up selling my uncle's house that just passed away because it was just him and his wife, my aunt, and she passed in February, and he just passed this week. So there's nobody left in the house. One of their children lives in Miami. One of their children lives in Texas, and one lives here, but they have their own home and all of their children are in college. So there's nobody there. So I'll probably sell that too. So I'll probably be working on selling two of my uncle's houses at the same time. And they're both the eldest of my parents. So this is my mom's eldest brother's house. And my uncle that just passed is my father's eldest brother. And one I will be watching, memorializing and burying out of his earthly home next Saturday. And one I'm helping move out of his physical home. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you for your condolences. I appreciate that. I actually am happy for my uncle because I think he had no more will to live after his wife passed in February.